Bastogne, Bosque de Jacques. Poco más podemos añadir para presentaros el capítulo de hoy, y es que os proponemos seguir los pasos de una de las unidades más conocidas de toda la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Estamos hablando, como no, de la famosa Compañía Easy del Regimiento 506, División 101.
Compañías E hay muchas, pues como ya sabéis, Easy es como se conocía alfabéticamente a la quinta compañía de cualquier regimiento estadounidense. Pero hoy en día, hablar de la Easy Company a secas es hablar de la Compañía E del segundo batallón del Regimiento Paracaidista 506, División Aerotransportada 101. El comandante de la compañía en esta época era el teniente primero Norman Dyke. Esta unidad saltó a la fama gracias a la serie de televisión Hermanos de Sangre, basada en el libro homónimo de Stephen Ambrose. Y como es inevitable referirse a estas dos obras cuando se habla de la Compañía Easy, os avisamos que a lo largo del vídeo de hoy caerá más de un spoiler. Tras su bautismo de fuego en Normandía y después de su segundo salto en los Países Bajos durante la Operación Market Garden, la Easy Company permanecía en reserva cerca de Reims, Francia. Cuando el 16 de diciembre de 1944 el ejército alemán sorprendió a los aliados rompiendo el frente, la Easy Company, junto a la División 101 en su conjunto, fue movilizada y transportada en camiones hacia Bastogne. Hoy, Guripas, para seguir sus pasos allí, hemos quedado con Reg, todo un experto de la batalla de las Ardenas.
Hola, Reg. ¿Qué tal?
Hey, Oscar.
Pensé que íbamos a empezar en Bastogne. ¿Qué hacemos aquí?
Well, we're on the outskirts of Bastogne, and we are on the western flank of the city, because this is exactly the area where the 101st Airborne Division arrived that morning of December 19, 1944.
Porque
Bastogne is over there, so a lot of the wounded were evacuated from Bastogne into the opposite direction, this way, plus civilian refugees were trying to get away from the city. Now, at the same time, the 101st Airborne Division arrives here. The 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment left the trucks here in the town of Champs, and that's where they assembled in the fields between Champs and the next town of Mont-Saint-Étienne to assemble, and then later on, like a battalion at a time, were sent out on foot towards Bastogne to go and fight off the German troops. Okay, so if you want to walk the steps and trace the route of how they walked in, let's follow me.
Vamos allá.
Si visteis nuestro anterior vídeo sobre la batalla de Bastogne, recordaréis que el 19 de diciembre el Regimiento 506 fue desplegado al norte de la ciudad, concretamente en el sector del bosque que linda con la pequeña pero importante población de Foy, o mejor pronunciado, Foix. Pero el recorrido de la Easy Company en esta zona no la empezaremos por los árboles.
Reg, este edificio ya estaba en la época, ¿verdad?
Well, this building was here during the siege of Bastogne. This, in fact, was the original train station of the town of Bizery, which is located down in the valley. The train station, of course, you had the railroad tracks running in front of it. So the bike path, as you see it now, used to be the old railroad tracks leading out of Bastogne. There used to be a sign against that wall saying halt. But back in September 1944, when the first Americans came to liberate this area, they read the sign and they thought it was the name of the town. So they had a good sense of humor, but they kept referring to this place as Halt Station. Now, of course, the area has changed, and this is because of the ongoing tree farming projects that they run here. Which means most of the woods are private land, so people harvest the woods, they sell the wood for lumber, and then they replant it. So this means that nowadays you have fields that used to be woods during the war, and there's woods that used to be fields during the war. And especially here at Hull Station, because the building was completely surrounded with woods and barely visible from further down the road. Now, the railroad track was also used as a boundary. The Americans used it to set out positions, especially here in this sector north of Bastogne. The lines kind of split up the 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment and the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, more specific, the 2nd Battalion, on the 20th of December, set up a defensive line on this side of the railroad tracks. Now, the tracks are in a straight line, but the field over there kind of drops down, and there's an embankment bearing the tracks. And because of the daily patrols that needed to be run, they would start out from here following the embankment, because that was the only reference they had in the woods in order not to get lost, because it happened on both sides. So this reference was very important. And that's why most of the patrols during daytime or at night were sent out in this sector following the embankment, including the first patrol done by Easy Company, and it was the first platoon of Easy Company, at that time still commanded by Lieutenant Thomas Peacock. And Clancy Lyle took his squad up the tracks, going that way, and Johnny Martin took his squad following a dirt road to the left side here of the tracks, and it's in that patrol that one of the replacements, John Julian, got mortally hit in the neck.
Ahora sí, guripas, llegó el momento de adentrarnos en el conocidísimo Bosque de Jack, la imagen que nos viene a cualquiera a la cabeza cuando se habla de la batalla de Bastogne. Aquí los soldados de la Easy Company tomaron posiciones a partir del 20 de diciembre, y en los pozos de tirador tuvieron que resistir durante semanas en unas condiciones críticas, sin apenas municiones y con ropa de abrigo insuficiente para soportar las bajas temperaturas.
Estamos en el bosque de Jack. Obviamente los árboles no son los mismos, pero estamos en el mismo bosque.
Yes, the woods, the trees have been replanted since the war, but we're still in the actual section of woods called the Bois Jacques, a location where Easy Company spent 2 entire weeks being dug in here in this section of the woods, overlooking, on a high ground, overlooking the town of Foix. Mm-hmm. Now, Foix is located down this road, right there. This is actually the woods which is shown in the series as where they received the tree bursts, because E Company was under heavy artillery fire from 2 different directions. This is the woods where Bill Garnier lost his leg. This is where you can see Eugene Rowe, Doc Rowe, going from foxhole to collect bandages, morphine, scissors, etc.
Y hablando de los pozos de tirador, ¿dónde están?
Well, actually, we're sitting in one.
Vaya.
We're sitting in one. This is one of the still original foxholes that can be found in the Bois Jacques. There's still thousands in the Ardennes. There's hundreds around Bastogne. Not every hole or trench is original, because after the war, elements of the Belgian army have been training in these woods, and they have been digging extra dugouts and trenches in these woods. Also, reenactment groups come here, to set up a display. They use the existing foxholes, or sometimes they dug new ones. So it's very hard to tell, like, this is an original World War II foxhole, and that one is it. Sometimes you are able to identify one, like the one that we're in right now. Yeah, this one. It also has a different shape, because this is like a T-shaped foxhole. This is a typical machine gun position, and this is how they were trained to dig such a hole. To set up the gun one way or another way, for the gunner, the assistant gunner, and this is for the extra cases of ammunition. And the reason why we could that we can identify this one is because of the veteran who was wounded here in this foxhole on 24 December 1944, and that was Smokey Gordon.
Claro.
And Smokey always said to his son, to his children, and even on his trips back to Bastogne after the war, that he dug a T-shaped foxhole that he shared with his assistant gunner, Francis Mallet. And Smokey was a 3rd platoon machine gunner, and we're now sitting on the 3rd platoon line, so this is the only T-shaped hole on 3rd platoon line. So according to his son and to Gordon himself, this is his very foxhole where he got wounded on the 24th of December. 24th of December was the first day of heavy snow. It started to snow the night before in Bastogne. However, it already had been snowing in the northern part of the Bulge. But this was like the first day that the Germans launched a ground offensive onto the Easy Company lines. They came merging from the woods across the street, half-tracks and infantry attacking this way. Now, shortly before that attack, there were still these moments of silence, and Walter Gordon had just made him a cup of coffee. It was like nice and hot. He got it from somewhere back behind the lines, sitting here, and when he was about to drink his coffee, he got hit by a sniper. Bullet came from the woods across the street and went into his shoulder here and left his body that way. And Smokey Gordon, he kind of dropped his coffee, and you could feel the hot coffee on his crouch, almost burning him. No, it was Eugene Rowe and Mo Ali who evacuated him out of the foxhole. Frank Mellor took over the machine gun and they evacuated him back to the dirt road, which was used to evacuate the wounded back to Bastogne.
En enero de 1945, una vez roto el cerco alemán sobre Bastogne, los defensores estadounidenses recibieron finalmente los ansiados suministros, que permitieron desbloquear y empezar a mover el frente. Pero en la práctica, la situación poco mejoró para los soldados de la Easy Company, que tras cambiar varias veces de posiciones en el bosque de Jack, volverían a sus posiciones de partida para finalmente el 13 de enero pasar a la ofensiva. Su objetivo era tomar Foix, población que llevaban observando desde hacía más de 3 semanas al otro lado del bosque, y cuya carretera era la única vía para poder continuar hacia el norte. Una confusión habitual en torno al ataque final sobre Foix, incluso entre los propios veteranos cuando regresan a la zona, es que el linde del bosque ha cambiado con los años. En enero de 1945, el bosque llegaba hasta aproximadamente el poste de alta tensión, donde se encontraba el puesto avanzado de la Easy. Pero para entenderlo mejor, comparemos dos fotografías aéreas. Como se puede apreciar, en 1945 la separación entre Foix y el bosque era menor que hoy en día. Pues bien, según el plan estadounidense, el ataque principal partiría de esta parte del bosque, con el primer y segundo pelotón bajo el mando del teniente Norman Dyke. Y para facilitar el elemento sorpresa, el resto de la compañía, es decir, el tercer pelotón, atacaría por la carretera principal a modo de señuelo. Una hora más tarde, lo que quedaba de la compañía I, apenas una veintena de soldados, atacaría a su vez en esta misma dirección hasta el centro de Foix, mientras otras unidades paracaidistas se mantendrían en reserva. Y aunque debía evitarse el uso de la artillería para no dañar la carretera, los paracaidistas contarían con el importante apoyo de una unidad de morteros de 81 milímetros.
That morning, they started mobilizing the troops. E Company moved out from their reserve positions over here, joined 3rd Battalion guys. Everybody was getting ready, last instructions were given. And at 9 a.m., E Company starts their attack on both sides of the road into Foix. One big problem was that about minutes before the attack, Pete Madden, who was a forward observer of the 81mm platoon, receives a phone call and a voice in perfectly English saying like, hold fire, mortar support not necessary. There was some confusion down there. Quickly they realized that the Germans had found a reason to tap into the communication system. So Colonel Zink, he immediately ordered a 48-hour radio silence. So all the communications between the platoons, from the platoons up to the high ground, went dead. And that's kind of when Lieutenant Dyke started to panic. Okay, no more communications, no mortar support, and the number of Germans that they thought that would be holding the town of Foix seemed to be just a part of what was actually down there, because the Germans had been listening to the American radio. They had brought in reinforcements, they had repositioned their machine guns, moved in a tank. So that was a fortification down there. So immediately E Company got pinned down here in the field, and now it was up to Norman Dyke to come, with a solution, to show leadership, which unfortunately did not happen when it should happen. Now, the guy who was with that, what we call the relief group, was Lieutenant Ron Spears, and Spears, former commander of D Company, and he was sent down with that relief group, not on his own, to take over the command of Lieutenant Dyke. So when Spears gets down there, he gives instructions to Foley, he gives instructions to Lipton to keep moving, and he takes the men into the town, going in that way, while on the other side now H Company and James are trying very hard to do the same from the opposite direction, with the support of H Company and elements of F Company as well, trying to come in. And then finally, after like 2.5 hours, they get to the first buildings and start clearing building after building after building after building. And by 3 p.m. in the afternoon, the entire town of Foix was cleared. All the buildings were cleared, and they set up a defense line just north of the village. That's a big battle.
Bueno, Rich, y ahora estamos ante la que debe ser la pared más fotografiada de toda el área de Bastogne.
Yes, because the impact holes and the battle damage is still clearly visible on the wall here. Plus, the window up there plays a role in the whole Band of Brothers story, because that's where the sniper, the German sniper, was at shooting at the guys from 3rd Platoon, and it's exactly there where Shifty Powers shot the German sniper.
Tras asegurar Foix, al día siguiente, los soldados de la Easy Company continuaron dirección norte para seguir empujando a las tropas alemanas hacia sus posiciones originales antes de la ofensiva de las Ardenas. El siguiente objetivo fue Nouville, donde permanecieron hasta el 15 de enero. Ese día, en su camino hacia el siguiente gran núcleo urbano, Ufalis, la compañía se desvió para asegurar una población menor, Rasham.
La verdad, Reg, es que podríamos estar horas escuchándote contándonos historias sobre la Easy Company, pero hay que elegir un final. Y has elegido este edificio por algo.
Well, we're here in Rachan, just north of Nouville, northeast of Nouville, and for Easy Company, this was their last battle during the battle for Bastogne. With elements of F Company, they had to clear the town of Rachan. They had air support, there was tank destroyer support. But most important for the company, after being outside in the woods for 4 weeks, suffering from the cold, the lack of food, the lack of sleep, they finally had the time to spend the evening and the night inside of a building, inside of the church down there, and more specific, the building here behind us. Now in the series they do mention a convent, while in fact it was the Catholic school of Rachan and the teachers were nuns. So being an American coming here, you see nuns, you see a Catholic ornament, you think it's a convent. And it's a very moving scene in the series when you can see them sit on the benches and the choir of children is singing to them, and everybody's in the picture, but the ones who are wounded or killed, they're fading out. And that's a very, very, very powerful scene, because you think finally, after 4 weeks being miserable, in miserable conditions, it's over. Well, not really, because this is where the pain began. They've been running on adrenaline for weeks, trying to survive, to stay alive. But when everything quiets down, the mind starts working normal again, and you start processing all the events, realizing the casualties and the friends that they've lost. Not that there were more casualties in E Company than in other units, not at all, but the ones that they did lose here in Bastogne were mostly original Toccoa guys. And they spent 2 years together, 24/7. And that's when the pain really began. So it's very, very, very powerful.
Como dijimos, estaríamos horas escuchándote, pero todo toca su fin. Hay que elegir un final y hemos decidido acabar así. Así que muchas gracias.
Welcome. Well, now you made this part on Bastogne. Let me give you something. How about doing the next one on Market Garden?
Esa es una muy buena idea, pero eso será otro capítulo. Hasta el próximo capítulo, Gripas. No conocerás a alguien en Holanda, ¿no?
I know a good guide.
Luego te pregunto.